going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. And if we're talking boxing, we're talking mega fights. Canelo versus Charlo this weekend. Go down, drop a like, and subscribe to the channel, and comment and drop in the comments. Let us know who you got for this fight. Any bets you're taking, we love to hear it down there. As always, these are your hosts. I'm Paul. Pick a win. I'm confident. I'm joined with.
Going on, gang? It's your boy Marcus Primetime Penley, man. We talking that boy Cinnamon. Yes, sir.
It's your boy Gator, aka Southpaw Run Boxing. Who else I'm here with?
Yo, it's your special guest, that boy Kev Waterboy, boy, aka the Street Fight Enthusiast, aka the motherfucker that gotta come and put the Charlo brothers on my back today, because that's how we coming.
Man, last time we were talking Charlo brothers, we were talking about how Caleb Plant stole off on one of them, but like it wasn't this one that we're gonna be talking today, but it still wasn't a good look. Yeah.
Bro, I finally found out the research about that because I was watching a closer look for this fight. And that nigga stole off on him because he kept grabbing his face, and that shit had me crying. And then you got niggas like Tim Bradley and even Derek James was like, it was kind of like the words were it was warranted.
Yeah, he did warn him too. He did tell him, "Hey, keep grabbing my face," and he did it again.
But
that one happened to Big Charlo.
And they showed the replay of when Caleb Plant tried to steal Canelo, and Canelo weaved that bitch. I was like, oh. There's levels to this shit, man. He threw his sunglasses on.
And Canelo threw his little key sunglasses to the his trainer behind him, and then weaved it. Like there's levels.
He weaved that and gave him like a two-piece. Remember, he gave Plant a black eye.
Love it.
Oh, you gotta love it, man.
But we're not just here to talk about Canelo versus Charlo, even though that is definitely the main event there. We'll definitely get into that a little bit later. We're going to open up here on the undercard, and this card is pretty stacked. You got like the young prospects, you got proven veterans. It's going to make for a fun fight. Let's talk about, first off, on the prelims, Jermell Moulton. Not much known about him. He is Floyd's prodigy. This is making his boxing debut. He's being renowned as like the next great thing. Like honestly, the streets are saying like another Shakur Stevenson coming up through Floyd Mayweather. Would like to see it. I like to see it. 48-2 amateur career, not too bad. So Floyd typing up this boy as the next Floyd Mayweather. Do you think it's just Floyd pushing another Floyd product, or do you think this cat actually got the skills to live up to the hype?
Another Floyd product, but he could develop into something special. You know what I'm saying? It's too early to tell, but like you said, we don't know much about him.
Yeah,
the main thing we know is Floyd wanted him to fight Lee Wood.
No, that boy's still young, so I mean it's still too early to tell. But if Floyd's hyping him, he's got to have some type of talent.
No, that shit is crazy. So I'm a big Shakur guy, so like. You can't just throw motherfuckers in the same sentence as my dog. But Floyd's on his side, and we've seen how Floyd felt about Tank early in his career. So, like, if Floyd gonna put his neck out there, we'll see what dude's talking about. Definitely. Now I gotta watch all the way up to this fucking fight now. I was definitely finna pull up late as hell. Probably pull up for the Berrios and blah, blah, blah fight. But now I gotta pull up all the way for Moulton.
Yeah, he's the second fight on the card, so you're gonna see him early. But honestly, I don't have much on him, but I do think if Floyd's hyping him up, I can't wait to see him. But if he shits the bed, I'm gonna be there too to talk that shit. If he doesn't look,
I don't think he'll shit the bed yet. I think we're gonna see him like in the typical boxing sense, building up a fighter. He's gonna rally off a couple nice wins of lowered competition, and then. Especially go the Mayweather route. It's going to be a while before we see him fight some competition, but I don't know. I mean, I doubt he's going to look bad, though, anytime soon.
Marcus nice as hell. That boy know he was talking about, so we ain't going to see this motherfucker fight till he's 30 or something.
I already know. Hey, bro, that boy, look at Tank, bro. Tank's, that shit was a long
Floyd put Tank in a championship fight when he was 22. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, bro, who the fuck was it?
He was undefeated. Jose Pedraza undefeated. He was
Oh,
undefeated.
okay. Nah, I get that. That shout out
The
my
guy who
Puerto
gave Loma a run
Rican
for his
man.
money.
That's good, bro. I mean, bro,
But
Tank, bro,
y'all
the
Floyd
Mayweather
fans
route
be having
is.
something against Loma, like he did something to y'all personally, bro. This send a
Well,
shot.
I'm just saying, Tank is the one who took his zero and knocked him out. Loma kind of a little struggled against a older Pedraza.
Nah, that was a good win. I ain't gonna
Tank
lie.
finished him at 22.
That Pedraza win's a good win. That's not a bad win. But shit, bro, the Mayweather route, that shit don't work, bro. Oh, it worked for him. It ain't work for Tank though.
I was say he had the spaz though. But let's crack your next, Paul.
The next fight on the list I'm gonna just bring up is just because he's super active and the heavyweight division is so fun right now. Frank Sanchez, 22-0 Cuban, going up against Scott Alexander. Not really anything like he's not like a crazy fight or anything, but this Frank Sanchez is coming off of 2 KOs back to back. But he's just been looking really good. He's just another young talent at heavyweight that like is making some noise. Like he's just somebody I think you should keep your eye on. Like he's gonna be soon going up to that next level of competition. Not too like if he keeps as active as he is, because he's been very active this year and last year. Frank Sanchez, I'd like him to get another knockout here, but just keep an eye on for this fight, just because Frank Sanchez is the next like great Cuban heavyweight boxer right now.
That's interesting because anybody Cuban will tell you that Cuba has the best boxers in the world. They just can't showcase their talent. So I'm tapped into this one. I got to see what the Cuban fighting style is like. Marcus, what the
I think they have the best style. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say the Cuban boxing style is definitely known for that awkward. They move around a lot. I mean, I wish they was able to showcase more or have more Cuban pros, but you don't get it too much.
And they don't let them turn pro either.
What's up,
it's all changing somewhat because I know they're starting to they're trying to go through Mexico as their next Mexico and Cuba's have this deal worked out where some of the pros some of them can go pro in Mexico. That's what some of their fighters are going through right now. But it still hasn't really it's not really making into anything because this was 8 to 9 months ago when this was all happening and Andy Cruz, I'm pretty sure he had to dip out of Cuba because that was going on with Andy Cruz, and then Andy Cruz ended up saying he just left. He didn't wait for the Mexico shit to actually happen.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, he just had to get out of there. But we'll see because they are still they're trying to get them over, and if that happens, that will be massive. That would be pretty big for the boxing world.
And there's a lot of good boxing coaches in Cuba too. They know how to teach boxing down there.
That's why I had to shout out that boy Frank Sanchez. But now let's get into the actual meat of the burger here. The title don't really matter. Interim WBC welterweight title. Ugas versus Berrios here. Ugas is the slight. I don't want to say slight favorite. Pretty big favorite. -380 to +280. But in boxing odds, that's pretty even because usually you see massive odds in boxing. But this is a nice fight, I think, to open up the main card with. How do y'all feel about this fight?
Shit, I'm low-key excited for this fight. I'm kind of curious to see is this Ugas' first fight since the injury? Pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how he can bounce back. See if he could be a contender again in that 147 club. So, shit. And then Berrios, bro. He might be losing them, but he be taking tough fights, bro. Keith Thurman, Tank, now Ugas. So, that's going to be an interesting fight. I really don't know who's going to win. I want to see Berrios win just because it's kind of a cool story, but I think Ugas is going to win that. Just more experience, world championship level. But that's a good fight, especially to open up that card.
Yeah, there's levels. I think it's gonna be an easy W for Ugas.
You don't think he's getting a little too old and coming off a bad fight?
Oh
no, not yet because Mario Barrios isn't that like he's good, but I have Ugas a couple levels above him.
Damn, though, I would love. What would Barrios have to do to win this fight?
Honestly, bro, I don't know.
He certainly can box for them.
Yeah,
he certainly can't box for them.
Yeah, Ugas.
I feel like he can't.
Boxer. He's another Cuban. Like they just come from
That Cuban style, that long reach, that jab output. He's gonna tear him up.
Behind the jab, got the good footwork, very technical sound. Barrios, like
pretty good defensively.
Yeah, like Barrios, like the odds are close, but I just don't think Barrios has that. Like what the Gators say, there's a couple levels before you get to the Ugas. Ugas is still like, yeah, he lost to Spence, but prior to that, like there wasn't anyone else really calling for his name in the division. So like, he's not the one you want to fight, and like especially if
I don't think Barrios got power to really hurt Ugas either.
Like he got a corner stoppage against Santiago in his last fight back in February, but like again, like Santiago, like Barrios is someone who if you're not really that great of talent, like if you're not someone who will fight for a belt one day or be an actual title winner, you're not gonna beat him. But if you are somebody who's even in like the top 10 ranking, you're probably gonna beat Barrios, I think, and like. Ugas, I still have him as top 5 at the welterweight division. So, like, I don't see Barrios being the reason that he's not top 5. Like, Barrios is just a few levels down.
Hell yeah. He just joined the 147 club. He just came up. It was like his 3rd fight at 147.
Yeah, the Keith Thurman fight after the Tank fight.
I think this is his 2nd fight.
No,
Yeah, you're right. This
is the Keith Thurman, then he had Santiago, so this will be his 3rd fight.
You're right. Yeah.
But I mean, the odds have it. I mean, you go on Tapology where the fans vote for this fight. Out of 271 picks on the website, 58% Ugas, 42% Barrios. So like even though we're very pro heavy on Ugas, there is a lot of people that are screaming.
I just want to be curious. I'm gonna be looking for like how is Ugas gonna be reacting when he starts to get hit? Like once he starts getting touched in that eye. Is that going to affect him in any type of way? Because, I mean, wasn't that the same injury Billy Joe Saunders got with the fucking...
Billy Joe had a
orbital bone, yep.
Bro,
so I mean, like, bro, that's a crucial injury to not like physically, but like mentally to get over. Like, you're going to be in the ring getting touched up. So, like, I want to see how he reacts to that. Plus the age and shit. But, I mean, I still got Ugas winning.
All right, I got Ugas. We got Ugas. Kev, are you rocking with the Barrios or are you rocking with the Ugas?
I would love to pick Berrios, but I don't fuck with him like that. Like the only person I've only seen 2 people really like fuck up Ugas, and that's like Sean Porter and Errol Spence. Besides for that, I don't really see like Ugas looking crazy in fights. So I definitely got Ugas.
And then we got a little bit of young blood in the next fight. I'm kind of shocked this fight's going on after Ugas' fight. A little disrespectful, if you ask me. But Elijah Garcia, brother to Ryan Garcia, is a big favorite going up against Armando Rodanidas. I mean, like I said, huge favorite for a region. Elijah Garcia isn't like that guy. He's not Ryan Garcia, but he's still he's almost like what's old boy's Anyways little brother. He's still great. He's still a good to great fighter, but he's no Anyway. Like, and that's how Elijah Garcia. He's just always in the shadow of his brother Ryan. But he's still a good boxer. He's a huge favorite for a reason. I think there's going to be a one-sided fight just to fill the main card with at least some decent names that will draw some, like, television eyes. But, like, Garcia by a landslide. If I'm wrong, anyone disagree by Elijah by a landslide on this one?
I could care less about this one, for real.
Nah, for real. I didn't even know this fight was, like, alive.
They should have put this shit in the bike.
Mm-hmm. Wait, in the bok. What about you, Gator? Are you Elijah Garcia fan?
He's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. I wouldn't say like fan, but he is fun to watch. I'll be tuned in.
And he's a big boy too at 160. He's no little boy like Ryan. He's the little brother, but he's bigger. Then the co-main event, back to the good shit. Erickson Lubin taking on Jesus Ramos, undefeated Jesus Ramos. But I mean, Lubin 25-2 was on top of the world.
The hammer.
Before he took
Lubin be taking tough fights.
He didn't have to fight Fundora. He could have waited it out for a title shot here or there, but he took the hard fights, took a bad loss, and won an arguably fight of the year last year. But I know I gotta throw it to Marcus first on this one because this is his homie. I gotta hear the Erickson Lubin versus Jesus Ramos from Marcus' side right now.
Hey man, my dog's coming back for blood because bro, he's not a bad fighter, bro. I think he puts himself in tough situations, and it is what it is. But he's still young. I mean, he. The only thing that is negative about bro is he got some miles on him now, and he's only what, like 25, 20. Like he's young
27.
still.
He's 27.
Okay, so he's 27. That boy in boxing terms, he's probably like 35 for real. Just because of the amount of damage he's been taking. But, bro, he's good, man. I like his style. He's got pop. They call him a hammer for a reason. He got that southpaw style. Man, I like his trainer, bro. I mean, I think he's going to come out shining with that co-main event spot on a big card like this. I think them boys are working, man. I think he's going to get a big win. Boy, the hammer coming back. Stop playing with him.
He is, before I throw it over to that boy Gator, he is an underdog, plus 250 to Jesus Ramos, minus 330. But if you look at the Tapology odds, Tapology out of 290 votes, 93% Ramos, 7% Lubin. Gator, are you part of the 93% or are you part of the 7?
I'm going Lubin.
Oh, we got 2 7%ers in the crowd right now. All right. Let me hear. Are you?
I thought you
Lubin's a real throwback fighter. That man takes the toughest fights, even when he doesn't have to. He fought Big Mel Charlo at 22. When he didn't have to. Mm-hmm. He lost, but he's always taking the toughest fights. He's a fun fighter. I'm excited.
He's dog, bro.
Raul, tell me more about Ramos. I don't like to be on losing side.
Ramos is 22 years old. He's low key a demon. Like, Jit is nice. I mean, he's coming off a win over Joey Spencer stoppage, and like Joey Spencer is no real pushover either. Like Joey Spencer, if I'm not mistaken, he's another young up and coming fighter that when they're starting to pin. I mean, it's new to boxing. They're taking these younger fighters and putting them against each other, and like he made Joey Spencer light work coming off that. And I think that's why he's getting like a lot of love in this fight. And maybe people are still remembering the loss to Fundora. But if you don't forget, he might have been up in them scorecards. Like that was a very like Lubin knocked down Fundora. That was a war. So like,
that was definitely a close fight for sure.
But but also Ramos has wins over Brian Mendoza, who just beat Fundora and is now the mandatory for the WBC belt. So like he has good wins under his belt too. So like Ramos is a young fighter that has like Brian Mendoza prior to the win over Fundora. We wouldn't be giving a fuck that Jesus Ramos beat him. It was like cool, no big deal. But the fact that he kind of changed his story and beat Fundora, now we're looking at the Jesus Ramos win over him like, that's a good win. That's a very good win for a very young fighter here. So, like, I don't want to go against the curve because I am pro Lubin. I mean, put the lube on me, boys. Like, I do like Lubin. But I think Jesus Ramos is the real deal. 22 years old. He has good names on the belt already. I'm going to go with the young fighter, and it's because Lubin is a throwback fighter, and he likes to get into firefights. He likes to get into these wars. He likes to get
used to it.
Ugly, and Jesus Ramos' chin hasn't been checked yet, and I'm gonna go with that fighter who also got pop in his hands. So like, I would get Jesus Ramos on this one.
That Spencer fight.
I think he's in a little rude awakening. I think he's in a little rude awakening.
Hey man,
Spencer, wasn't he coming up in weight?
He may have, bro. That was on the Benavidez Plant card.
I'm pretty sure he came up in weight. So like, low key, I feel like that might have been more Spence fucking up than him getting beat. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he kind of took a big chunk. He fought a young prospect, moving up in weight. He wasn't ready for that. But shit, I mean, bro's still a nice fighter though. Right? It's gonna be a tough fight, man. That shit's gonna be a dog fight.
Yeah, if you joining the Ramos, or you putting the lube on?
Why you say it like that? No pause. I gotta rock with Ramos. Bro sounds like a demon for real. And I wanted to rock with you guys on that Lubin shit, but I'm like, let's see what that boy Ramos got cooking for him.
All right, and then let's get into the main event, boys. This is what we actually came for. This is what the listeners are here for. Saul Canelo Alvarez is taking on Jermell Charlo. Charlo moving up 2 weight classes to make Undisputed versus Undisputed happen. This is going to be a fun-ass fight. Charlo coming off the win over John Ryder in a homecoming fight. And then Charlo coming off, honestly, in my opinion, his best performance to date with the dub, the dub in the rematch against Brian Mendoza, where he kind of put any doubters to silence. Yeah, there.
I was about to say, is it Castano?
Yeah, Castano.
But this is gonna be a good fight. I mean, the odds have Canelo minus 450 right now to Charlo's is plus 370. I gotta hear some of the takes. Like, who wants to take the floor first?
Y'all got it.
Yeah, Kev.
Hey, I had to roll the dice. You feel me? But nah, man, this is gonna be lit. But I just want to talk about the fact that it's Mel instead of Maul, because that's what fucked me up. That was the biggest. Like, when this fight was announced, I was like, oh, finally, them boys can put that bitch to paper. He's coming back out of retirement. And then they said Undisputed versus Undisputed. I said, wait a minute. The other Charlo's Undisputed. And I was like, he's coming up. How many weight classes to do what? Like, does anybody do any research on how this fight even became about?
Mo Charlo wasn't ready. He wasn't like ready mentally. He was saying it in his Instagram live how he basically gave his brother the contract they gave him because he wasn't like mentally ready. He was like venting on his Instagram live. If y'all ever see his lives, he vents on there a lot. So he was saying like, "Oh man, after this fight, I'm fighting Canelo after my brother fights him and stuff." So it was originally supposed to be Mo Charlo, but he just wasn't there mentally. So Mo Charlo said, "Hey, I'm that guy."
Took the real one stepped up.
Work. The real big Charlo.
The other Charlo ain't fighting Canelo no more. He ain't getting that fight again.
Oh yeah,
I don't think so.
That shit dead flies.
He fight Canelo.
Facts.
He better go get himself 4 belts before he try to ask for that shit again.
But with the fight itself, like, do y'all think it's gonna be somebody's just in a weight class that isn't belonging to him? Do you think Canelo's over the hill? I know
I think Canelo's a little bit over the hill, and I think Jermell Charlo, like, he's naturally like I think the weight cut's actually better for him because he is heavy. Him and his brother are both heavy. The fact that he can still even make one, I don't even know if he'll go back to 154, even if he does lose.
He's not going to because Bud waiting for his.
One of the only reasons he's even at the 154 is so him and his brother aren't in the same division because they both wanted to do their own thing. So it's not really like he's little, like as in the sense like he's got to be in a lower weight class. So I think, and when he comes in on fight day, he gets pretty bulky. So like after he rehydrates and after he weighs in, bro still got a solid weight to him. So I feel like that's gonna benefit him. I feel like he's not gonna look too different. Like he's gonna roughly look the same. I feel like what it comes down to is he's gonna be able to like move around the ring as smooth and efficient all 12 rounds. Like he's gonna be able to keep moving. Like that's what messes up Canelo the most is when he got a fighter that's constantly moving and not just standing there. So, I mean, that's gonna be it. I want to say also James. Like, how's he gonna bounce back? He took a fat L last time he was at Derrick James. So I mean, like, what the fuck is he planning right now to get Charlo ready for this? So I mean, I want to see what their type of game plan they're gonna come out. They're gonna attack Canelo early. Are they gonna let Canelo do him, like be slow? I don't know. I want to see what it goes like.
Derrick James brought all them damn losers into the staple.
I mean, I still like Derrick James though. I think that was a more fluke on Spence. I mean, it could be James. I don't know, bro. They didn't make no adjustments, but either way, I don't think James is a bad coach. I think he's a great trainer. You can go look at the film, bro. Charlo in that rematch with Castellano, whatever his name is, that shit was amazing. That shit was a great ass performance, bro. He looked like a dog, and that's another thing. Charlo he could throw through the punches. So like, if he starts exchanging with Canelo, and he can clip Canelo, I don't think he can like drop Canelo or nothing. Or like, I think Canelo got the fucking chin for that shit. But I think he could really land some stuff in like an exchange with Canelo for sure.
Nah, for real. And did you see the measurements? He actually has a longer reach and he's taller or something like that.
Yeah, and he got a jab, bro. If he can use that jab, like kind of like similar to like a b-ball or like.
So that's my thing with his jab. That's my thing with his jab. Prior to the rematch, I feel like Charlo relied because we talked on before everything. Like he was the athletic. He is the most athletic gifted out of the two brothers, and he I think relied on his athleticism a lot before. Then he went up against Castellano the first time. Castellano gave him a lot of work on the inside, showed him the footwork, showed him everything, and then he leveled up, came back, and used his jab and wasn't relying on just the one-hitter quitter, the power shots to really hurt his opponent. He started boxing his opponent and really showcasing who he really is. But was that just sometimes, like George Kambosos against Teofimo, was that a one-time thing where you were just in the best that was the best fight you'll ever give us? Or is he going to use the jab consistently in his off? Is that something he's actually added to his repertoire that he's going to use from here on out forever? That's one of my big ones because that I think will change this whole fight. If he goes back to the first version of Charlo, it might be a long day. If he's showing that new version of Charlo, because he's not active. Like it's not like we have very much we see him over. He's not that very active. We haven't seen him since that fight. And so I don't know, but if he does use that jab, now we're talking about a Charlo that can win this fight for real.
All right. I think he can win the fight with the jab. Canelo's head movement has been slower, and his punch output has been getting lower since the Bivol fight, especially in a John Ryder fight. He was eating tag. So I'm excited to see how Mo performs.
And I ain't gonna lie though, I was listening to some stuff, and I was like, damn. Canelo probably was letting that boy Ryder tag. Not technically letting him, but I don't think he was worried about no Ryder's power, or like he wasn't really worried about like a Triple G or some shit. I feel like that was like him kind of just getting rounds in almost. But I mean, he did tag Canelo though. But I don't know. I don't really look at that too much. But man,
I don't think Canelo can get a stop, but he can certainly get scored on.
Facts.
Kind of like that B-ball jab was scoring on the Canelo.
I think we're gonna see some moments in this fight that's gonna resemble Triple G and Canelo, where they have like a 20, 30-second exchange of combinations where they're just standing in the pocket. Go ahead, boss.
Kev, did you have anything to say on this one?
I was gonna let Marcus finish his point.
I was just saying that I think you're gonna see some points where they're gonna be exchanging combinations back and forth in the ring. That's just gonna be nice, bro. Because that's how Charlo fought in his last fight. They're gonna be on some back and forth, like similar to Triple G Canelo.
Yeah, I think Charlo's gonna press. I think he's gonna do a lot of be very, very active this fight and try to make it a dog fight. Like if you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to beat me. Because if it goes to the judges and it's some draw shit or some lame shit, you're gonna be like, I should have just finished them. But how do you guys like the trainer versus trainer matchup in this one? You got Derek James, who let all the losers into the stable, and versus Edward Reynoso. And Canelo does whatever my dog says. That trust and that relationship they have is something that's crazy. And I hope I got the names right for this one. But how do y'all feel about the trainer versus trainers in this one? Who has the upper hand with
Reynoso, he's really good with Canelo. I don't think he's not the best with other fighters. He doesn't really make much adjustments for his other fighters through fights, like with the Valdez's and the I got the other dude's name, but I do think Derek is slightly smarter with adjustments.
Yeah, I'll say Derek James is gonna have more of like a game plan set up. I don't think Canelo and Eddie, they don't really. I mean, they're gonna have a game plan, but I feel like kind of like do what Canelo does, and if that doesn't work, then they kind of adjust. But I feel like Derek James, they're gonna have a set game plan, and like they gonna have it by round what they're gonna want to do. Either they want to press early or they want to move around and try to box early and then press. But I think Derrick James, either if it's the right plan or the wrong plan, he's gonna have a better game plan, or like he's gonna be more prepared. I feel like.
So I think Derrick James is the better overall coach for like fighters. But Eddie
for the most part, yeah. Eddie's a goat with Canelo, but
Eddie went on a huge losing streak last year, though.
That's the one thing he could do better than anything. Like you can tell me Derrick James is the better coach, I agree with you. But when it comes to Eddie Reynoso with Canelo, that is just like that's Michael Jordan with fucking.
That's true. That is.
Yeah, like that's Michael Jordan with Phil Jackson. That's D Wade with Pat Riley. Like that's just the match made in heaven. And I'll never bet against him, baby. Like that's just how it goes with that coach. He's just built for him. That's just who he's built for.
The one time I did bet against him, it worked.
Oh, he bet at Bivol. Bivol.
But then, so let's get into the over/under on the rounds. It's set at 10.5 rounds here. Let me hear y'all's take. Do y'all think it goes? Oh, let me hear. Is it over/under 10.5 and your official pick? I'm gonna start with that boy Gator.
I'm going over 10 rounds. Jermell Charlo split decision.
Mark,
we going over, and we going King Cinnamon with the stoppage late fucking round. Charlo's gonna get dropped. He's gonna get stumbled. He's gonna get lost in the sauce, and it's gonna be in the 11th or 12th round when he gets dropped. Maybe even the 10th.
Your pick, because I thought you was super pro Charlo and Canelo was too old. So like, what made you have this different take?
No, I never had Charlo. I try not to downplay Charlo because I think I think he's a fucking amazing fighter. Like especially how he went with Derrick James. But honestly, I think Canelo's gonna show like a little bit glimpse of an old Canelo. I think that rider might have been a little bit over exaggerated. And Bivol, he went up in weight. So I mean, it's understandable. Bivol's a great fighter. So like, I don't know. I think Canelo's he's not gonna look maybe so stiff. And I also believe that Charlo's gonna get lost in the moment, man. I think he might start off like first 4 to 5 rounds solid, but I think eventually he's gonna start trying to look for that big punch, try to hurt Canelo. And that might end up leaving him open for, that counter left hook, drop his ass. But I think Canelo could get a late round stoppage, man. And I don't know, man. I just don't know if Charlo's ready for this type of fight. I mean, he might be, but I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm definitely not betting against Cinnamon.
Kev, let me hear you rocking.
I was not ready for that. I thought Marcus was with us. I thought it was us, and it's always been us, Marcus. I thought we had the Gator connection. We both was. I understand you mess with Cinnamon all day. Like I put cinnamon on everything. I'm finna wait for it to get cold. I'm finna throw cinnamon in my hot chocolate.
Cinnamon challenge.
Ooh, you living like that. But I gotta take my dog Charlo. I just wanted to take Canelo because I felt like it was a smarter pick. And if I was a betting man, I'd take Canelo. But I'm taking Charlo because even though he's going up 2 weight classes, I feel like he'll look very comfortable at this weight. Like what is he going on, 14 pounds? It's going to look real good on him. And on top of that, I'm stuck on, I have not seen a good Canelo performance in the last three fights. Really.
Since Billy Joe Saunders.
And the thing about it is they did say he hurt his hand, so he had that lingering for 2 fights. So that's a possibility. So I'd love to see it, but I'm going to take Charlo because I think Charlo could shock the world, and that shit would be crazy.
And to the people that say, like, oh, he hurt his hand, he couldn't train, and there was another fight where the same issue kind of happened, but that also points to, like, the aging of Canelo. When he was at his peak and during that prime run, he wasn't getting cut. He wasn't getting injuries. Now he is getting cut in his fights. He is getting injuries after fights or in training. That should just tell you that, like, at the age of the fighter, and not his age on paper, they're the same age on paper, but the amount of wear and tear their body has had. Because Canelo's had hundreds of fights if you're counting the backyard barn fights in Mexico that aren't on paper and shit. Like, Canelo's been doing it since he was young.
Mm-hmm.
With all that being said, give me the cinnamon man. come Saturday night, we're going with Canelo Alvarez, baby.
Canelo.
Canelo.
Stop playing with that boy's sentiment, man.
Stop playing. So I had to really sit down and think about it because I loved off the head Brian Castellano fight. That boy Charlo looked phenomenal, and I have been riding Canelo. Has not looked great. Like Canelo is not the same fighter anymore. But like, so I think so. My official pick over 10.5 rounds. I think it goes to decision, and I think Canelo wins in the decision. Las Vegas judges love Canelo. Bivol boxed his ass off, and he still only won 115, 113 on cards. Like, Bivol was whooping his ass, and he still only won 2 rounds over him on the official scorecards. Charlo would have to do something spectacular, I think, to win. He has to dominate every round, I think, when it goes to the decision to beat Canelo. And if you take Canelo, like even Caleb Plant was looking good in the Canelo fight. Scorecards had Canelo up prior to the 11th round knockout against Caleb Plant, even though a lot of people didn't think he was winning that fight. So, like, the Vegas judges love Canelo, and I feel like a lot of people are forgetting that. And I think it goes to decision. I think he'll win the decision. I think it'll be a good fight, and he'll end up winning a very close card. But in the John Ryder fight, and the not even the John Ryder fight as much, but more the Triple G trilogy fight. Yes, Triple G in the second half started looking really good. But if Canelo in that first 6 rounds shows up against, because Canelo's biggest thing now is like his gas tank, his pace. He's not the same fighter in the second half of rounds anymore. If he slows down, I think Charlo can look good in the, like, y'all think he's gonna look good in the first half. I think he's gonna look good in the second half of the fight. I think in the first 6 rounds of the fight is when Canelo is gonna show him, because Canelo kind of like, he likes to swing his big dick in the ring sometimes early. He likes to like show that, like, oh, you have good footwork, I have better footwork. I cut off the ring, I show you I can hit you. I maybe land a big shot here or there and then get back. But I just wanted to let you know that I can hit you. And then I think Canelo looks good early, and then the second half is when Charlo kind of turns up. But I think by then it'll be too late, and then we see a Canelo win by decision and in Las Vegas, just like it always will be. And that's my official pick on this.
I think the keys for Charlo to win would be similar to how Plant game plan was. I think like boxing off your back foot, keeping Canelo moving constantly. I think that would be his best way, and then eventually try to open up later down. But I think that's also when Canelo's going to be able to catch his ass. Once he does stop, and he's going to have to sit there and bang with Canelo. Canelo's going to try to get him up against the ropes. He's going to try to work him in the inside. But I don't know, man. I can't see Charlo. I mean, I can see it, but I can't see Canelo losing this fight. Yeah, I don't think he's regressed that much yet. I don't think he's that old yet. I don't think it's that time yet.
Right. Canelo likes to swing his big dick in the ring early. It's crazy. This is crazy. This nigga.
That should be the title of this video.
Say that? But I do agree to an extent that Canelo does, like, Canelo will be in that bitch serving heat early in the fight. He's really gonna be coming out trying to show Charlo that he's not
swinging that
division. But I think that's where he gets in trouble though, because Charlo can hit hard. He's like Tank. They can hit hard every round. They can keep that pace on you every round. They can stay on point every round. So I don't see Canelo getting better later in the fights. And I think there's gonna be points in times where I feel like he's reeling. And if Charlo starts to put his foot on the gas by the 5th and 6th round, I don't see the end of the fight looking great for Canelo. And I think that's why Charlo can maybe sneak in a little decision.
Las Vegas judges, baby.
Gator. Gonna be a good one.
I haven't heard you since you made your pick. Now that you heard everybody else. I mean, you have any rebuttals?
I mean, we're just gonna have to see. I'm confident in my pick. I'm keeping my pick. Howard, the judges do favor Canelo, especially in the first 2 Triple G fights.
Oh, yeah. That first one, I forgot you were bringing up that first Triple G fight. Like, yeah, Canelo.
I think Canelo won like three rounds that first fight.
I'm crying. I'm mad that we are green and red, but we're the ones that picked Charlo.
That's for real. Me and Marcus over here, the little center that's white.
Oh yeah, like the Mexican flag colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Canelo.
But everybody had it over 10.5. So like, if we can't come agreement on a pick, I mean, y'all better go hammer the over 10.5 rounds. Like we all agree on that one. So that's, I guess, would be like the team pick on that one.
Hell yeah. But before we get out of here, man, how do you think this walkout's gonna go? Because the last walkout was stupid crazy. Canelo's.
Another classic walkout.
Because this fight is late too. Because usually he does this during Mexican Independence Day, but like, you know what I'm saying, it's still Hispanic Heritage Month.
Do y'all think that Charlo's gonna have a really good walkout? Because I personally feel like no, but I just feel like when I watch their walkouts of Canelo fights, they give Canelo's opponent like a $10,000 budget, and then they give Canelo like $1 million budget on his walkout.
Like 10,000.
I don't even know who the fuck Charlo would walk out with, bro. Like, who the fuck he walking out with?
But the rawest one I've seen was that when Tank came out with Chief Keef, like he could pull up with Kodak. He's from Texas, he might pull up with Travis Scott.
If Jermell Charlo walks out with Caleb Plant, I think that would be the most gangster walkout. I think I might have to
walk out with B-ball.
Walk out with B-ball, bro.
Walk out with B-ball.
That would be crazy.
That would be some cut,
he needs to go borrow the Nets.
That boy B-ball said he won the winner.
And I want the Kurt Angle theme song. You saw. I want that walking out, bro.
I need Canelo to come out to the fucking Undertaker music. That shit's about to be rest.
That goes crazy.
I don't think that's Canelo's vibe though. So I mean, I don't think he'll do some shit like that.
He's doing the mariachi all over again.
Yeah, he's gonna have the Chicos out.
I don't. But that mariachi band can only hit so hard.
When I seen Canelo fight in Miami, they had a fucking that one. I think J Balvin or some shit. He was performing for Canelo when they walked out, and they had a whole like stage and shit. Like it was WrestleMania and shit. Looked crazy. But I was during COVID.
Canelo finna come out NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah.
Nah, but I think it'll be a phenomenal walkout. But I just want to see, because like Charlo, every time Canelo just steals the show, I want to see Charlo come out with some banger too. That makes me question who had the better walkout.
I mean, he is undisputed, so he might plan some shit.
Bring Chief Keef.
That's just the ace. The little just ace in the hole with that one.
Bring Kodak. If Chief Keef is busy, bring Kodak.
He's from Houston, so like only thing he really got is Travis Scott. Maybe bring out Paul Wall.
Nah, bro, bring out Travis Scott.
Travis
Scott gonna be on a bird.
But we gotta get up out of here. I actually appreciate all y'all boys sliding out to this episode. It ain't easy getting the whole crew on this bitch, but we had to get together for Undisputed versus Undisputed, and the card was very like they Showtime. You're going out of business, but you gave us a good card. We applaud you while you're still here. We give you the flowers. Not Steven Espinoza though.
Shout out Al, but fuck you, Al.
Big Al Heyman.
Big block. We gotta get up out of here. Again, go down, like and subscribe, and comment down below your picks on the fight and the picks on the other fights on this card that we was talking on. We love to hear y'all's feedback. And if y'all got any bets, if y'all like me and the degenerate better, let me hear what bets you're gonna be sweating this weekend. As always, this has been the episode Totally Blitz podcast. We broke down Canelo versus Charlo, Undisputed versus Undisputed. And this is Paul Pick'em Win'em Concha, always with Marcus Primetime Penley, joined with Gator Boy, Southpaws Run Boxing, Jamari, and Kevin, the street fight enthusiast Savoy himself. And if y'all didn't know, well, now y'all know, motherfuckers.